So, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing good today. I am Pragya Agrawal from Cyberblog India team, and I will be your host for the evening. This is going to be our fourth Instagram live session as run up to our 2021 conference titled Abuse and Harassment in Cyberspace Beyond the Perceived Notion of Mainstream. The conference seeks to initiate a discussion on threats faced by the LGBTQI plus community members on the internet to facilitate sharing of niche stories and first-hand experience of community members, and to raise the awareness about challenges faced by the community while dealing with cybercrime incidents. To know more about the conference, I request you to follow our Instagram page or drop a text on our helpline number, which you can find on our Instagram on our page's contact details. For today's session, I have with me Sauvik Acharjee. I'm so sorry, is that the right pronunciation for it?
Yeah, it's okay, it's cool. The like you have mentioned in my bio, I have given up right now to people, correct people what's my like actual pronunciation is, so it's okay.
I'm so sorry. Sauvik is a writer, poet, queer artist, storyteller, and in all forms an amazing artist. He is from Assam and currently lives in Bangalore. Recently, he was named amongst the top 16 poets in Bangalore by BananiVista, but he still struggles to explain, as he did to me, the correct pronunciation of his name. He's a member of QAMI and a diversity and inclusivity lead who is working in corporate world to build inclusive and safe workspace for the queer community. When he's not writing, he can be found cooking passionately in the kitchen. Being an avid reader, he can be seen with a book even while riding in the metro. He is always open to listening to good music or talking about movies, philosophy, art, culture, spirituality, and more. Thank you so much, Sauvik, for accepting our invitation and being part of the conference.
Hey, thank you, Pragya. Thank you for reaching out to me and inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share the stage with you and share my stories.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully, and the reason I agreed is because it's a really great and a good cause you guys are fighting for. Because really, very few people understand things what cyber harassment and cyberbullying can do to people at different levels.
Yes. I request
You
you
want
to.
some coffee? I'm sorry, I'm sipping myself.
No, please, please. Go ahead. I request you to add if I have missed on anything or you'd like to tell the audience about yourself.
No, all cool. You have mentioned everything probably. So it's
Okay.
all cool. Don't worry that too much.
Okay, great. So, for the first question, Sauvik, how has your journey been on the internet?
So journey on the internet has been both positive and negative, I would say. For me, being coming from a small town, I came in about internet and a lot of other things about internet when I and experienced internet to its fullest power when I moved out of my town. That is in 2010ish. Like till 2010, my first thing was just googling encyclopedia things for school projects, and that was it. Apart from that, there was my first email ID was created in 2010 for my college purpose. So that's
Right.
how the journey started, and it has been good. So luckily, I think 2010-11 is the time when I joined Instagram, and I had used to have Orkut at that time.
Ah, yeah.
The first social media network for us is called as Orkut. So, yeah, I'm sorry it's dead, but it was fun knowing, like, going on Orkut. And then, what else I would say? Like, Instagram has been good space now. And over the years, like over the over the last decade, I have seen like how Instagram has given us a voice to spread our like its platform to like voice out about anything which goes around. You can speak about any issue which is going around the world and make sure that like let people know like where the mainstream media don't reach there is
Yeah.
news and things which we can hear out and from Instagram and Facebook and other social media networks. And it has been good. And the bad side is obviously there are hecklers, bullies,
Yes.
and
Right.
usual people who are traumatizing and threatening people for the things which they don't stand or they can't understand and they don't want to be part of.
Right. So, from how do you deal with these trolls and the hate comments that these people post?
So, see, like at the early stages, it used to bother me a lot. Like even a troll, if someone is commenting very harsh comments, and comments goes from a different level. Like you can't imagine most of the people things they said in comments is just the tip of the iceberg because then they slide into your DMs and start texting you stupid things, which is really traumatizing without like just imagine an unknown person sitting in different part of the world or maybe somewhere in the city who is like not even that much exposed to anything in the world or may not have knowledge about a lot of things, targeting you and saying a lot of things. So earlier it used to bother me. I used to get in the fight. I used to start sharing my views on them. Then slowly I realized that it's going nowhere. It's basically like hitting my head on the wall, and the wall is not moving. Only I am bleeding. So the best thing was to do was like. So then I started ignoring them and just reporting them and blocking them. That's the best thing I can do. And if they slide into DMs, I keep them so specific. Like I made my DM on request basis. So if someone is to connect with me, even if my followers from my account, they have to send me a request. So thanks to that, there are a lot of threats and a lot of stupid messages which can be avoided. So these two things I do,
Right, right.
and yeah.
That's great. Uh, Being from a corporate sector, what was your first experience that told you that the corporate world wasn't that inclusive?
So it's a story about 2017. I think that was my second or that's my second job. Like when I saw, I'm an engineer who switched industry to become a content writer and writer. Thanks, Romal. Yep, blocking is the only way. So yeah, so 2017. At the time, I was not open, like not fully open out of the closet to a lot of people at workplace. Like basically, all my friends knew. Few of my relatives, like close siblings and cousins, they used to know about me, but at workplace, only few people used to know. So it was a small startup IT sector IT company where one of a major client was a big IT giant. So during that time, during a meeting or during a presentation which I worked on, and it went to my superior who was the director at that time. So she made some changes in the land, and when it was presented in front of the client, so the client asked the questions which was related regarding the errors, and then in front of the client, she stood up, she said, "You can't do a stupid, you can't make a simple presentation work and all," and I was numb there because those edits were not with them, and suddenly she said, just because you're a faggot and sleeping around with thinks your work standards are not good and all, and that's the point I realized like damn, corporate sector needs to be more
The
inclusive. It's like everything needs to be more inclusive, not only corporate sector, even the entire society needs to be more inclusive. And then I realized that that's not that's not a safe place I want to work on because she is judging me not because of my work, it's because of who I am. And so the worst part was that I did not open up to her about my sexuality. She came to know, she eavesdropped or she heard it from someone else with whom I was having conversation about that. And the next day, like that day, I went home, and the next day morning, I dropped my paper. And from that point onwards, I made it a point like whenever I go for interview and I ask, I'm joining a company, like I make sure I ask them about how their work life, like how their work policies are towards the LGBTQI community. Is it a safe space? And
right.
then have they done any sensitization to the entire workforce?
Hmm.
So and yeah, from that point onwards, so whatever company I joined till now, I have joined after 2018. I made sure I have done a sensitization, like one or two sensitization session in a year, so that people know what is this and try to make more inclusive knowledge and like more inclusive workspace and help them build more inclusive policies and few of the things like in one of my previous company I was working there. Language was not that inclusive. They usually use he, she mostly and
Yeah.
everywhere. Like
Yes.
So I explain them that's not the right way. There might be people who are
Mhm.
not from who are not generally from the
Right.
cis-binary gender. They don't identify, and there are, and that's by doing this you're excluding an entire a mass of people who are not comfortable. You're just making that comfortable. So I started working with them. Started making writing, proofreading, and editing the letters and all. And then I started incorporating, instead of he him, I started using they, which is more
Yeah.
uh, gender neutral. So
Great.
small step to make space more
Inclusive.
safe. Yeah. And then there was a few of the companies I think I have worked with as a freelancing DNI lead, where they did not have posh shoes, which is gender neutral. Because in
Right.
India, to be very honest, we don't have a posh rule which is gender neutral till now.
We don't. Right. We
Yeah,
don't.
so with the help of the HR team over there, they listened, they
Mhm.
understood what needs to be done, and they modified their policy, and I was happy working with them. So
That's
a
great.
little change is really good. Yeah.
So you talked about you asking questions from the companies as to if they're going inclusive or not. What was the general response that you saw from them? Was it positive? Was it negative? Were they willing to change, improve?
So till now in my career, I think I interviewed more than 500 companies till now, like since 2016, 17. So out of which the companies I have worked with, they had a safe space and inclusive workspace. So
Right.
that's why I worked with them and all. And the one which I have not joined, most of them like they did not have, and they're like, we'll see what can we do, and like we don't have such things and all. They say
Hmm.
such things, and like when they say like, no, you don't have to worry about those things and all. So you get a bunch that yeah, they are not going to understand, or they're not going to move forward with this thing.
Yeah.
I remember in one of those things when I asked this question in one of my interviews in 2019, probably when I was, yeah, 2018, not 19, 2018 start, mid and all. The HR asked me, why are you asking me this thing about, like, why are you asking me about inclusiveness and all? So, are you one of those people? I was like,
Uh,
clear to elaborate what do you mean by those kind of people?
hmm.
So they're like, are you homosexual people? I was like, yeah, I'm gay. Identify, I'm gay. You can go and check it. My LinkedIn, I mentioned it's as he, him is my, he, him, his is my pronoun. So, and I also mentioned the queer activist. So, it should be clear to you by this time that yeah, I am from the LGBTQI community. So he's like, okay, all this is good. We'll get back to you. And after that, it's like, oh, it's been like 2.5 years. I never got a revert from them.
Good thing you're not working there now.
Obviously, I wouldn't have, but yeah.
So, what do you think can be amended in the corporate structure so that it can be a better and a safer and an inclusive space?
See, when we say inclusive spaces, does not only include women and increasing women workforce numbers and people from the LGBTQI community. You have
Right.
to look for people who are disabled.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of companies who are established. They want to make changes. They wanted to hire a lot of people. They want to make more inclusive thing. But the thing which happened is they are already established. They might be in a building, like they might be in tech parks on buildings which is like say 20 years, 50 years old, and there is no scope of constructions and all, right?
Right.
So if they have to hire transgender people at that time, they need to have either they have to have gender neutral washrooms, or they need to create a separate separate washroom so that it's not
Hmm.
uncomfortable for the transgender people also. Like this
Right.
has to be done. Or also they have to make sure there are ramps so that people with disability
Hmm.
can walk through and all, right? So they want to do this, but because of this other circumstances problem, they can't do it at that instant and the moment. But
Right.
I have seen like they are trying to do it, because also you have to see that it's not possible for them to move the entire thing to a new location at the same
Hmm.
time, like
Hmm.
within a moment, right?
Right.
So yeah, but corporate sector is, I would say, is taking step forward. I have worked with a lot of companies and startups, basically startups who are really eager to build a more inclusive workforce nowadays. And uh, established organizations also, they are doing it, but yeah, they need to be more vigorous, like not only making the policies for like the month of June, the International Pride Month. They need to do it throughout the year and make small changes and policies throughout the year.
Right, right. That makes perfect sense. Um, what was it, considering you're from Assam, what was it growing up there as a queer person?
Growing like coming from Assam and growing up as a queer person, so first of all, I belong to a very small town, so growing up, first of all, I didn't realize or I didn't know about myself till I was 2021. I was a bit on a phase. Like, yeah, I was feminine. So there are a lot of straight people who are like cis people who are feminine,
Right.
straight gender people, cis hetero people who are feminine, right? So being feminine, I was bullied a lot because I was feminine, or most of my like school group and my gang group of friends is like were girls, and still now it's mostly girls with whom I gel up very easily. But the thing is that yeah, growing up it wasn't that bad, but the bullying part was still part of my life. Like it's
Right.
now I look back and like realize like uh, how normalized the cisgender normative society, cis heteronormative society is, that bullying for being some bullying someone for being feminative, and which is not according to their agent, or I should say their forte. It's
Mhm.
bullying them makes them very easy. It's like you're bullying them to make him tough or some kind of stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, there were incidents when I was bullied badly, and thanks to my friends who did support me, like they didn't know what happened, why, like what's the situation. Like I just told them
Mhm.
these things, like not the entire episode what happened, but I did
Right.
told them, like I did tell them what happened. I did tell them that, see, this is what happening, like
Uh, Sauvik, I
Questions
think
today,
you're
you just come up with me and let's see who says something to you. And if
right.
anyone says something, I'll do it. So, and it
We are
was
always ready
2006,
for it.
yeah, it was 2006, 2007. So, yeah, there are people, like, if there are people who were bullied, there are also people who are supportive at that from that time without knowing what I am. Like, I also didn't know at that time, but it was there and I could always reach out to teachers. And but you, as you know, like children are like kids at that age, and they don't reach out to teachers because of a lot of things which goes around, right? They don't reach out to their elders. So it was, I say it was difficult because most of the time I used to hide things even from my family, and I went through it. My Be it bullied in school, be it harassed in school, be it kicked out in the boys' washroom after the school. So yes.
I
So,
feel like
huh, apart from
yeah.
that, it was not bad growing up in Assam. It was really nice. Like, it's homestead. I'm still proud. I'm still a proud Assamese. So,
I
even if
have
it's and the irony is now those people who used to bully me at that time, they're like, "Yeah, we're sorry. We never knew. Like, you have reached this state. You have like totally transformed us. Like, you guys thought you guys are breaking me down or making me think like that, but no, I have not changed. I just become what I am right now. I
right.
was always being sort of mean to be this, and you guys did what you guys think was doing for fun, or you guys did not have brain at that time, but you guys don't know how badly it scarred someone. It can scar someone's soul or mentally, like a kid right now.
Right.
So the one of the person from that group, they actually now run an anti-bullying, anti-ragging campaign in university. So I'm very proud that he had moved out. He learned his lesson, and he did call me up, and he's like, he called me up. He apologized. Like we had a long conversation with him for like 1.5 hours, and we went through all of this. Like he listened
Right.
to my entire story, what happened, and when what was his feeling, and all like. And then after one or see 6 or 7 months back, he's like, "Hey, I have opened this channel. If you can get talk, if you can want to talk, if you know someone is being bullied throughout, please you can please reach out to me. I will do every talk." And that made me, I would say, like there was nothing to follow. Like whatever he has done to me, at the time that can't be erased. But I'm
Right.
glad we learned and we moved and we grew up.
Right. I feel like that's more important if you are improving yourselves or trying to improve yourself. That is a huge part. It's important.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
You audible?
Yeah, you're audible. My Bluetooth just gave up. I'm sorry. So I was like, okay, it's better to just speak. I'm audible, right?
Yeah, yeah, perfectly audible. Perfectly audible. I love how your friends supported you. I feel that it's a huge and important part that there should be a supportive group of people that are around you.
Yeah, they supported me. They knew that they always knew I am feminine. They're like, see, growing up in my school group, if I say we are like, we had three boys in our group, like entire close group had three boys and six girls. So it's a very close packed group. So they knew I am like, and most of them like, apart from Sudeep who joined us in standard 9, apart from them, we have grown up together, rest of us. So they always knew, and they knew that this was like that. But when we reached teenage at that time, that's when the bullying grew a little violence side, I would say. So name calling has always been part of life, and I think there are still people who does that. And basically, when they name call someone as ladies, they are grammatically incorrect because it's a singular person. You can't call someone ladies. Like one person cannot be ladies. So yeah, now I can laugh it off. Like now, if they come back, I can like. At that time also, I was to like in my way, I used to say fuck off. Right now, I can say in their face, "Go fuck off, do something useful in your life."
Right, right. So,
But yeah, having friends who have supported like at that time without knowing about things and see, coming from Assam at that time when the internet was not like no, there was not that scope of internet or we did not have smartphones. Like we rarely had phones at that time. So having a group of friends who did not know, like did not know anything like me, they did not understand anything, did not know anything. Still, they stood by me. They supported me. There were times when they hold me up and put me up. And thanks to my teachers were also like that. So it's a blessing. Otherwise, it would have been hard to go through those years.
right. How do you think that a queer person could report and redress the instances of cyber abuse or cyber harassment? If you know any instances of other people.
Insistence, there are a lot of insistence you can like. I came to know about the crisis cases which comes up daily basis or say monthly basis of that. See, first of all, there are two things which people need to understand. First is cyber harassment and cyber bullying. Both are totally different. Cyber
Mhm.
harassment is when someone is harassing you, and when I say harassing, it means doing anything which is without consent.
Right.
That's harassment. Cyber harassment. Cyberbullying is where they're threatening you, they're blackmailing you, they're extortion, like trying to blackmail you, and you give up. So the best thing would be, it doesn't matter whether you are in closet or whether you are out and loud. The first
Mhm.
thing is to do is to reach out to your friends. The moment such kind of incidents happen, the first thing you should do is you should reach out to your friends. If you're a closeted person, you should reach out to friends who are out and loud, who are working with NGOs, who can connect you with the NGOs who are working.
Right.
Then the second thing is like people get scared that if they file a complaint, everyone will know about it. But they have to
Mhm.
understand that when someone is blackmailing you, if that person has been with you, maybe in sexual partner or been dating or courting you, both
Mhm.
of you are, if you know both of you guys are in closet, like both of you are in closet, that means that that person also is just bluffing.
Right.
He's just playing on your fear. The main thing is like you have to understand that if someone's doing something like this to me,
Right.
you can reach out to your friends. You can speak to your friends. Your friends can reach out. You can reach out to NGOs like CSMR. You can reach out to Number Bride. You can reach out to QAMI. You can reach out to Queer Nilayam. There are a lot of organizations for the queer people run by queer people. So you should always reach out. First step is always reach out and not be scared. It's natural to be scared, but you should always reach out and speak. Maybe one friend you can reach out and who can help you. Because
Mhm.
these NGOs and all, like they have we all maintain anonymity. So if you don't want your name to come up, we will file the close case in your name, but it won't come up your name. Like we'll file it for you, but it won't come up, and it will help you not to get it won't. It will help you not to get blackmail in, like, or harass or bullied in further scenarios. Also, like when you speak about it to your friends or your friend circle within the community, it creates awareness, and it may be helpful for preventing someone who is getting on the verge of getting harassed or who is very much new to the community and doesn't understand the dynamics. Maybe a school kid, maybe a college going kid, like who just moved out of his town and he's meeting someone and he's not sure, and if he's facing something like that or
Right.
they are facing something like that, is the time when someone can, like, if you are telling your story, you're not only helping yourself, you'll be helping other
Hmm.
people, also giving them knowledge.
Yeah, I
That needs to be
agree.
understood. Also, I believe when you say in ground level scenario, sensitisation regarding the law, cybercrime laws, how it's helpful to us has not been done.
Hmm. Right.
If you randomly go and speak with someone and ask, like, do you know no one can blackmail you? If someone blackmails you, it's breach of privacy. You can file an estimate. Like you can file a report.
Right.
They would say, no, I didn't know that. Most of the people would say that. Be it
Hmm.
cisgender, be it queer people. No one has that idea because these things are not done properly. For them, cybersecurity, like for most of us, like for the most of the people, cybersecurity is limited to saving their saving their data, their chats, and bank data. It's limited to that much. Like
Right.
they don't know about all the other things. They don't know about the identity theft which happens.
Hmm.
Creating someone's fake profile is also a cyber part of cyber harassment. You can raise FIR, but they won't do it because they don't know it. So
Hmm.
I believe knowledge distribution has to, like, awareness has to be made at the ground level,
Right.
be it in schools, in colleges, everywhere it should be done, and same has to be done with the authority side.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be an awareness regarding cyber laws in general, that even the people and the authorities need to be sensitized and aware that, okay, these are the things that are there that needs to be taken care of. That, yeah, that addresses my question. So as a closeted person, how did you feel when you saw cases of abuse or cyber harassment on the news, on and around you?
The feeling is very overwhelming knowing someone from the community leave the part of community. If you heard a news, a child committed the suicide, a kid committed the suicide because he was blackmailed, he was bullied just for because being who he was, it's it's overwhelmingly sad and grieving. There was one friend of mine. He used to stay in Mumbai. I have never met him. We used to chat. We met on Facebook and we used to chat. We used to talk.
Right.
One day suddenly, it was a long weekend. I went back home. So there was network issue. I was not online on Facebook, and it was back in college days. It was like 2012, 2013 story at that time. So when I was at home and I was traveling for 3 days, so I couldn't check. Like I was network issues there, so I was not available online. I reached home. I switch on my internet, and I was going through my feed and all, and suddenly I reached out to his post, and I was seeing people saying "Rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace." And then I realized. Then I went through that, and we had mutual friends, and I asked what happened, what news is, like I didn't know I'm not understanding what's happening. So
Hmm.
someone has told me that he was been blackmailed by one of his colleague with whom he had relationship,
Hmm.
and caught, and he jumped in front of Mumbai local. The feeling was so scary at that time. Like if someone does that with me, like what could I do at that age? 21, 22, it was very scary. And at that time, I was also in closet. I was not out. I didn't know like how coming out gives you a certain level of power, being yourself. But it was scary, and I
Okay.
never met him though. But it's always hard losing people in your life. Whenever it's your friend, like even if you have not met me, if you're close friend, losing someone, it's because of these situations. It does something to you. And funny story, when I moved to Bangalore in 2015, and there was a guy with whom I went on a date for a few times. He
Mhm.
was also in closet. And that time I was about me, my friends and my close friend circle knew.
Right.
Uh, he tried to blackmail me, like give me money and all. Otherwise, I'd go and tell your family and all. So I was like, I'm gonna go and tell my family. You want to post a story about it? Okay, go post. Go post. I don't care because most of my family knew about me, and rest I can handle. But if you do that, I'll make sure that I also like. If you want to, you surely want to do this because when once you do it, first of all, I'll file a complaint on you because you are sharing our personal chat and breaching my privacy without my consent. First of all,
Right.
second of all, once you do that, you do realize people will know about you. Are you sure you're going to do that? Next moment, I know that that guy has blocked me, everyone, and I don't know that guy even is existing in this plane right now or not.
Right. I am so sorry about your friend. I can't imagine what it must be like. And having the power, I feel like coming out does have some power, as you stated, and being aware of the laws is another part that is more important. Uh, right. So the social world and the media that goes on about cross dressing has become a huge part of comedy, media, and television in the country today. How do you feel like this would impact a person who's exploring their identity on the queer spectrum?
First of all, mainstream media. When I say mainstream media, I want to target Bollywood largely
Right.
because they're stereotyping something which is not generally true. They should really do proper research on the correct
Hmm.
characters before they meet. And if you want to represent queer community in the movies, they should do a proper research. They should have proper representation from the queer community. A queer
Right.
person should do the role, and it should not be funny. This is not a funny situation. Over the years, because they have doing it, they are showing us in a comical zone. It's difficult for us to make establish that do like people. We are society. We are normal as you. Like loving someone whom I love, my gender and my gender identity and my love for someone, maybe from opposite sex or from the same sex or from maybe the entire spectrum, doesn't make me different.
Right.
And how it affects the people. For example, if I'm someone who cross dresses and maybe I'm a closeted person who likes to cross dress, when I see in movies and see TV soaps that how they are portraying the people over there and how people are reacting, it
Right.
scarred us. It does not give us the power that we should come out. It makes us go back to the closet and like close our shell because
Hmm.
it gives an imprint that if I come out, if people know I do cross dressing, then they'll make fun of me. They'll think I'm bad. They'll think I'm evil.
Hmm.
And this they have been doing with the queer community from a long time, and this needs to stop. They
Right.
need to stop because you are presenting a misinformed misrepresentation of entire community to the world and the country, and giving people wrong impression about our community, and this is not done. Like so,
Yeah.
mostly if you see good queer movie, like if you ask me what are the good queer movies in Bollywood, I would really find someone which are really good because there might be nice story and all, but there will be a point when they make fun of the character or fun of one or two character which
Hmm.
is basically again demeaning this entire existence of an entire community,
Right.
entire set of people, and that's not human. That's not even human.
I
Like
agree.
just imagine a world where LGBT, like queer community, is in majority and heterosexuals are minority, and we start doing this to them. How would
Right.
like normally if someone knows that a guy is gay, or for example, if I am gay, they were like, "Dude, you don't have a crush on me. You don't check me in the gym and lockout." And it's like, if
Yeah.
that's how, because that's their mentality, because this is what they had been taught. This is what we have seen growing up.
Yes.
And to unlearn this, it's a long way. It's a long way and long process to first unlearn, then learn the new things, and then spread the awareness.
Right. 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 So the new OTT platforms that are there and the series that are being made, what do you think that they are helping, or do you think they need to change in some way? You have mentioned that it is there, but like at a point of time it just goes bad.
It does, probably it does at certain times. At certain times, they do make a step, like they do help people understand certain things. But again, when the comical thing aspect comes in, it reduces it to zero.
Right.
It reduces it to zero. That's the whole point. The learning curve has to be like unlearn, learn, and move forward. It's not like
Hmm.
unlearn, learn, laugh, and then move forward and continue laughing.
Right. I
This is
agree.
what it generalizes making jokes on gay people. It generalizes making jokes on trans people. It generalizes making lesbian. Like it's in general, it makes it very generalized and normalized that what can I say? Making joke of queer community is okay,
Okay.
and
Right.
actually it's not. It's
Hmm.
not. You may be joking around with your friends, but you are actually demeaning a human life. You're scarring someone for life.
Hmm. So do you
So
think
they
like
need to be more, they need to be more sensitive. The entire the entire entertainment industry need to be more sensitive about us and like about the community, and they need to do a lot of research and read, and actually if they want to make really good movies which are going to help our community, they need to have queer artists on board, maybe in roles, in backgrounds, in script, throughout the
right,
movies. Otherwise, please don't make they make nothing on our like on our community.
right, I agree, I agree. That has been some of the views that have been there that not having a queer person in a queer movie is not the point. And do you think
Yeah,
that they do raise some awareness, the queer movies or the series that they are portraying?
they do, they might do, but as a point, like when the laughing, as I
Hmm.
said, they do. They might be working. Say I'm not work. Say they're not working. They're working. Probably they're working.
Right.
But when the laughing, when the comical aspect comes, say for example, if one movie is making people aware about 10 people making aware about these LGBTQI communities,
Hmm.
making them realize that we are doing wrong and all these things. Like this is not how the community is. This is not how to treat trans people. This is not how trans people are.
Right.
10 people understood it out of 20 people who watched the movie. 10 people understood this.
Hmm.
The moment there are comical aspects coming in, out of those 10, 5 will go back. They'll start making jokes. They won't understand that it's not okay to make joke about it.
Right. 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 Agree. So yeah, I think that is all I have. If you would like to add anything else or discuss anything else right now.
No, it was a really nice conversation. Like the main point was about cyberbullying and cyber harassment. So I would like to say that the hatred never stopped us. Like still, till now, like today morning, my Instagram DM request list is filled with 10 people saying 10 kind of different shit about me.
Right.
I remember, like when I went home this year, I went home last year during Diwali, and I came back. I posted a picture with my family saying like, "This is what I'm taking back to Bangalore with me this year and all." I put the
Right.
hashtags like family, family helping, hi Shlok, hi Sissa. So this is what I am doing. I'm taking back my family this time with me. Like this is the memory I'm taking back with, and so usually I use the hashtags out and proud,
Right.
queer India, queer web, and all this family and all. There was a comment from a guy, I don't know, random people with zero post, 3 or 4 followers, like 20 followers and all. His comment was like, by putting this picture, you're making your family ashamed. You should be embarrassed. And then the lines are like, you chakka, you all are, etc. etc. I deleted the comment. He had the audacity, he slide into my DM. He was like, hey, hi, 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 hi. I was like, you just commented on my post. You don't know about me. You don't know anything about me. Who the hell are you? Are like you have only 10 followers, and why are you like making such a fuss about that? Like my family has no problem. What's your problem in it?
Right.
He said, no, I was just trying to grab your attention and all. And the next thing was a brinjal picture, not emoji, the picture. I was like, okay, not interested in this topic. Like
Right.
I'm not interested. And I was not replying for a long time. By the time I opened my I was writing that and by the time I stopped in the next signal and opened my phone,
Hmm.
it's like you don't like it. What happened? What do you think? You're like you have been faggot and all, like you feminine bitch and all these things have come up.
Right.
I had no other option. I reported that account. I reported the chat. I took a screenshot. I reported the chat and blocked it.
Hmm.
After 1 month, I get a report. Like when we report something on Instagram, it comes back, right?
Yes.
They report me back like that. We did not found anything against the community rules. So Instagram is
Oh.
very deceptive in this way.
Oh
It
wow.
was apparently against their community rules. So thankfully, I blocked him, and thanks to Instagram that they have one option that you're blocking people with the current ID and any ID they make in future. So that's also a good thing they have included. But yeah, so as I said earlier, and Roman also mentioned in his comment, is that
Hmm.
blocking is the only way to go to keep yourself away from all this kind of negativity. Do not indulge and do not try to explain yourself. You don't owe any explanation to anyone of who you are, what you are. You should be always proud of who you are, be you are in closet, be you are not in closet. You don't owe any explanation to anyone, especially this kind of trolls who are hidden behind fake accounts. And the best thing you need to do is like learn about the cyber laws in India, find out how they can help you, make have group sessions with your friends, talk about these things. If anything, someone is trying to blackmail you, harass you, or bully you in friends, if you think you can't take it on,
Hmm.
open up to your friend, open up to reach out to the NGOs, open up to your friends, and open up like if you really want to file a complaint if it's very extreme, reach out to Cyberblog because they are doing a wonderful job of filing the complaints on your behalf and keeping them anonymous. So it's a safe place, and they're doing a really great job. So please let's together fight against this cyberbullying and cyber harassment. Probably will save a lot of more people and lot of more lives. And it will be a good place, and we can build a good place for the kids who are coming in the next
Yeah.
generation.
I think that was great advice for the young queer community and even people who are in the closet and discovering their identities. Sauvik, has been a great conversation. I loved every part of it. And again, I thank you for being and accepting our invitation for the conference this year.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for doing this great work and this great initiative. I would give you virtual hugs to you and your entire team. A great kudos. Keep doing this. Looking forward to watch more session in the future. Yesterday I saw Patruni's and it was inspiring. I saw showcase on the first day. So you guys are doing a great job. Keep doing it, and let's make a better place together.
For sure. Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
You too. Bye.